There's a funny game my mother was showing me where you have to say the color of the words and not the words themselves. Even if a word says green, but the fonts are black, you gotta say black because the fonts are black. The words are black. You gotta say the color the fonts are, the colors of the words, and not the words themselves. Whatever the words might be, the words might be different colors: green, red, black, green, whatever it might be. It might be anything, but it's gonna confuse you. What's interesting about it? Why is the game funny? Why is it interesting? Let me tell you. It's because it works on people. It works on me even a little bit. But I was able to do it. I was able to win. I won. Even if my IQ might be 78, or it might have been 78 a long time ago. Decades ago. Man, what year was it back in maybe 95 or something like that? That was like 30, 40 years ago, something like that. Many years ago, many decades ago. Man, my IQ was only 78, man. Was only like 78. My goddamn 78. What? What did you say? My IQ. Did you hear what you think you heard? Yes, you did. Oh, man. It's like you're wondering, how could it be? How could it possibly be? Man, I don't know. That's my dead guinea pigs always said. He would always say that, man. He would always say that, man. He would always say, my dead guinea pig. He would always say that, man. He would always, let me not show you what my shirt says before I get censored on TikTok, man. I don't want that to happen, but I'll tell you, it's a funny game. When I'm talking about, the topic of this video is about that funny game where you have to say the color of the words and not what the words are spelling out. The words might be spelling out it might be spelling out the word, the color, green, but the words are, they're a different color. Or you might be making a video and suddenly out of the blue it starts to go dark because it has a problem. Phone got a problem. The Android operating system got a problem. You gotta keep going on. You gotta win. Now I was able to win. I was able to win and beat the game, but it's very difficult because, and what's funny about it is it works on a subconscious level. I wish my phone could work on a subconscious level and start behaving and stop misbehaving. Stop going dark, man. I'm going dark in the head when I'm not able to win that game. That's just one game. There's probably a lot of other games out there, but that's a game where it's like the subconscious is gonna get you because it's working even when you don't know it. That's why it's called the subconscious. It kind of makes me think about Inside Out, and they got a new show, some kind of sequel, reboot thing. Not a reboot, but like spin-off. Not really a spin-off, but more like a sequel show called Dream Productions, I think, and it's pretty good. And you really do get to see inside people. Man, if you went inside of me, you might be like, man, it's really chaotic. Because I might struggle a little bit, but then again, who does, man? I mean, who doesn't, man? But I'll tell you what, it's really interesting. I just want to make this video really quickly. I was trying to make this video. I kept on trying to make this video again and again. Starting, stopping, starting, stopping, starting over again. Making the video. And I do this sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I do it. And I've always done it, sort of. But you don't always have time, but keep on going back. And I'm like, man, it's not good enough. A lot of times I put out stuff and it's not good enough, but I still put it out. But it's not good enough, but I still put it out. And I've talked about this, but it's like I try to put it out, but it's not good enough, but I still put it out. Sometimes when I publish videos or articles and other things, so many different things, and I try to put it out and I try to make it better, and it's not good enough, but I try to do it and I feel like it's not good enough, and sometimes I hold myself back and sometimes I don't, and then I come back and I try to explain myself, and then I come back and I listen to myself and I'm like, that's not good enough and you're not pronunciating and people don't understand. And then I'm like, man, you gotta do that again. And I see all these like goddamn typos and everything that I'm writing because I'm always like a goddamn writer. And I'm like always like trying to really pronunciate. And then I always like make mistakes when I'm talking or when I'm writing. And I'm like, man, that's not good enough. But I'm like, man, I gotta be ready and I gotta take it to the next goddamn level, but it's not good enough. And even though it might be good in a way, and some people might say, man, that's good, but it's not good enough, man, because I feel like I'm a goddamn perfectionist, and I'm like, I'm a George Lucas Star Wars fanatic kind of person who's like, I need a special edition for my videos, just like George Lucas needed a goddamn special edition for Star Wars, even though it might have been good enough because, man, a lot of people were like, man, it's good enough, man. It's good enough, man. It's really good enough, man. You don't need no goddamn Blu-ray special edition. George Lucas don't do it, but it's like, man, he was like, man, I'm gonna do it. And he was like, he did it, man. And I'm like that on steroids. Don't do drugs, but I'm telling you, man. I'm like, I always go back and I do that. I've done that so many times, and I'm like, I really want people to know that I've done that so many times. And so then I make these videos and I try to explain it a little bit, but it's only like scratching the surface, man. You have no idea that it's really, 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 really just scratching the surface. And it's like there's a lot more to it, and there's so much to the story because, God damn it, it's a long story, and I really want people to really appreciate how deep of a story it is. But like a lot of people are not gonna get beyond the surface level of what I'm trying to say, because I try to say it and then I try to talk faster because maybe it will get through your brains that what I'm trying to say is so sophisticated and so like nuanced and so like back and forth with all this stuff that's going on, because as a goddamn perfectionist, it's like I really do want to try to like only put out the stuff that's the best, and I try to put out the best of my stuff over the years. And I've been doing this online forever, like since about 95. Been online trying to do stuff, and before that I've been doing other things, and I'm still like going back and forth and working on all these things as a goddamn artist and as a goddamn musician, as a goddamn, you know, as a goddamn filmmaker, you know, since at least 1996, man, since goddamn 1996, born in 1985 in Oregon, man, trying to do things as Oatmeal Joey Arnold, man, at Joey Arnold VN, online doing stuff, you know, like trying to do all these things on this 30th day before the last day tomorrow, the 30th day of December of 2024, trying to get things done. And I'm like, I really want to get things done. I really want to get things better. But then, even though I'm a goddamn perfectionist, it's like I put out a lot of terrible things sometimes. It might not be totally, like absolutely terrible all the time, but it's like sometimes it is, and then maybe a lot of times it is. And then when I put out videos and articles and posts and all these different things online over the years, like a lot of it may be a mess, but then sometimes I still do it. Sometimes I do it because I'm fearful a little bit. Maybe I'm a little bit fearful in other things, because I feel like if I don't do it now, it might never get done, and then maybe I can go back and fix it and then make it better. But then a lot of people get bad in first impressions. They really do get a lot of bad first impressions of me and everything, because it's like I'm not able to clearly explain what I'm doing, what I'm trying to do, because I always end up failing. And then it's like, so there's a lot of things going on, and some of that might be subconscious. And the purpose of this video is to talk about that game. And the game's really interesting because it kind of exposes the subconscious. Because the thing about the subconscious is it's really gonna get you even when you're not aware of it. And it's like, especially when you're not aware of it, it's like you're gonna say the wrong color. And like the purpose of the game, how you play the game, is that you gotta say the color that you see and not the words, because the word might be green, but it might be black fonts, might be black words, and you have to say black because you have to say the color, not the word. And the word might be green, but you got to say black because it's black, and that's not green. Even though it says green, you got to say black because it's black. Even though it's green, like the words might be green, and like you see the words like GREEN, you just say green because it spells out green. But the purpose of the game is to make you say what you see, the color, not the word, but the color. The color, just you gotta say the color. You gotta say the color of the fonts, the color of the fonts, man. You gotta say the color of the fonts. You gotta say the color of the words, but then you end up saying the word because the word, the spelling, because you see the letters, and the letters go in your brain. It goes into your eyes and goes to the brain, and you end up saying green, even though the fonts are black. You say green, even though the words are like the words are green, but. And you say green because it spells out green, but you're supposed to say black. You're supposed to say black, but you say green, man. Because a lot of times we're on autopilot and we don't even know it. I wanted to make this video and talk about the game. This video is supposed to be like 5 seconds long, and I wanted to do it. Maybe I should only make videos on my goddamn computer because it doesn't have these problems that I have on my phone. I need a better phone. I need a tablet, man. And maybe you want to go and help me do what I do, or build your own things and do your own things and build your own goddamn fan base in my Discord server, Oatmeal World. Link is on my profile, man. And you can go do that and help yourself or help me. To be continued.